A 15-year-old boy goes to bed in his own home, and by morning he's gone. There was no forced entry, no confirmed sighting of him leaving the house. And according to search officials, not even a scent trail detected outside the home, which raises a question that has quietly followed this case from the very beginning. What really happened to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers? In February of 2024, Sebastian disappeared from his Hendersonville, Tennessee home overnight. Despite extensive search efforts involving helicopters, drones, K-9 teams, and hundreds of volunteers, Sebastian has never been found. With so few confirmed answers publicly available, the mystery surrounding his disappearance has led to a wide range of rumors, theories, and speculation as people try to understand what may have happened that night. One of the earliest details that caught people's attention came from the search itself. During the early search efforts, Ken Widener stated in interviews that search teams did not detect Sebastian's scent outside the home. That detail alone has continued to raise questions, because if Sebastian walked away from the house during the night, many people would expect search dogs to have detected at least some indication of the direction he traveled. And that leads to one of the first possibilities investigators considered. Could Sebastian have wandered away? Sebastian was autistic, and wandering behavior can occur in some individuals on the autism spectrum. Because of this, search teams focused heavily on nearby wooded areas, rural land, and bodies of water, locations where missing autistic children are sometimes later found. But despite extensive searches of the surrounding area, no trace of Sebastian has ever been located, which brings people back to the same question. If Sebastian wandered away, why was there no detectable scent trail outside the home? And this is where the case begins to take a different turn. Because if Sebastian didn't wander away from the home that night, then the question becomes much more complicated. That question has led some observers to consider another possibility, that Sebastian may never have left the house at all. Those who question the timeline often point out that Sebastian reportedly disappeared without shoes, a phone, or any personal belongings. Combined with the absence of a scent trail outside the residence, some believe this could suggest he never left the home alive. At the same time, investigators searched the home early in the investigation and have never publicly stated that evidence of a death was found there. Authorities have also not named anyone inside the home as a suspect. Some speculation goes a step further. People have wondered whether something inside the home may have escalated unintentionally, possibly a confrontation or disciplinary situation that tragically went too far. However, investigators have never publicly confirmed that any such incident occurred, and no evidence has been released connecting that scenario to the case. As the investigation continued, another rumor began circulating, one connected to the timing of the neighborhood trash pickup. Trash was reportedly collected the same morning Sebastian was reported missing. Because of that timing, some people began to speculate that if something had happened inside the home, a dumpster might have been used before anyone realized Sebastian was gone. However, law enforcement has never indicated that investigators believe this occurred, and there has been no confirmed report that waste management searches uncovered evidence connected to the case. Another possibility, sometimes discussed, is that Sebastian may have left the home willingly with someone he trusted. There were no signs of forced entry. If someone Sebastian recognized approached quietly, some believe he may have left the house without waking anyone else inside. But investigators have never publicly identified suspicious vehicles or individuals connected to the disappearance that night. Some speculation also suggests that if something happened inside the home, more than one person may have been involved in removing Sebastian or staging the disappearance. There are also rumors that exist primarily in online discussions. One involves a woman sometimes referred to as Lori Kay, who is said to be a friend of Katie Proudfoot. According to online speculation, she may have been staying with the family that weekend and could potentially have information about what occurred. However, law enforcement has never publicly confirmed that this individual was present or connected to the investigation. And then there is one rumor that many people find especially unusual. At the time Sebastian disappeared, Chris Proudfoot was reportedly working as a crane operator on a construction project at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Some online speculation claims Sebastian may have been concealed in cement at a job site. However, this claim remains an internet rumor, and no evidence has ever been presented publicly to support it. Another discussion connected to the case involves the possibility that Sebastian's caregivers may have been exploring behavioral programs or specialized placements for him. Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers, has publicly stated that Katie Proudfoot and Chris Proudfoot had presented him with behavioral centers they were considering for Sebastian. Because of that, some speculation suggests Sebastian may have been placed in a behavioral facility or program that has not been publicly disclosed. Some rumors even claim he could potentially reappear later in adulthood, possibly around the age of 18 or 21. However, there is no evidence publicly confirming that Sebastian was placed in any such program, and investigators have never indicated that this scenario is part of the case. Even after all the searches, interviews, and public discussion, the central mystery remains the same. There is still no confirmed explanation for how Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers vanished overnight. Another question that continues to surface is whether Sebastian even made it home that evening. Law enforcement has never publicly released confirmation showing that he was seen or recorded arriving back at the house after dinner. The last publicly known sighting of Sebastian alive was earlier that evening when he was having dinner with his mother at Texas Roadhouse, and that leaves many unanswered questions. But regardless of rumors, speculation, or misinformation that sometimes surrounds this case, the one thing that truly matters is finding Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and bringing him home. No one truly knows Sebastian's story yet. He could still be out there somewhere. That's why continuing to share his story matters. When people share Sebastian's flyers, talk about his case, and keep his name in the public eye, it means we're not giving up on him. Someone somewhere may still hold the piece of information that leads to answers. So keep sharing Sebastian's story. Keep sharing his flyer. Because as long as people continue to look, continue to talk, and continue to care, there is still hope. And if you have thoughts about this case or theories about what may have happened, share them in the comments. This is Case and Cues with Carrie, and we'll continue following Sebastian's story and others like it until answers are found.